skillz started out in this room, you know. Driemanskap, they started out in this room, you know. Not to start as Driemanskap, you know, but I was a mentor, you know. I took them under my wing, same as skillz, same as Quest, you know. in 1997, 98, 99, there was a heavy hip-hop movement in Langa, you know. It was heavy. In Cooks at that time, okay, there were groups, you know, Kwaito groups, the reggae groups, you know, hip-hop artists, but in Langa, it was stronger. The force, like, was amazing, you know. I remember when we used to go to Club Angels, when we come back by the train, there used to be a cipher on the train, you know. The trains are packed. But once the train gets to Langa station, everybody steps down. Everybody gets off the train, you know. And then now there's like 4 of us in the carriage. Cypher is dead, you know. Now we can feel we're inside the train, you know. We can't wait to get home, you know, because there were too many people, too many followers, too many artists from Langa. But from 2000, it started to change, you know, because at that time, people were doing matric, some of them. So after matric, people started working. Some, they went to varsity, you know, and most of them, they were like, no, this hip hop thing, it was nice while it lasted. Now we are old now, you know, we got other responsibilities. But me, I was like, no, you know, this is not how it's supposed to be. Music, it's something that you should die with, you know. It's not a phase, you know. Well, to me, it's not a phase, you know. So from 2000, it shifted, and then it came to Cooks, you know. So in Cooks at that time, since I was like, you know, following the steps towards like production, I was like, you know what, let me carry on and do this. And at that time, there weren't many original beats. People were using like, they were buying singles, you know. And then, you know, if you buy a single, you're gonna get an instrumental. So at that time, there weren't a lot of like people who make original beats, you know. Even the traffic I had at the time, you know, it was because people who were like, are these your own beats? And maybe an MC was like, yeah, this is my own beat. So and so and so did it, you know. So that's why people came into me in numbers, because people were using other people's beats, you know. Most of the people I've worked with then were using other people's beats, and then I introduced them to use your original instrumentals, you know. So from Langa, the torch came to Cooks. And then from Cooks, we took it to another level because we were serious about music, you know. We were loving music, and we wanted to put our township and our city on the map. And we were like, okay, POC was there, they did their part, so now it's our turn. You know, we're gonna, you know, push it further, you know. The Gugulethu scene is escalating, you know. It's escalating, and it's going towards a very good direction, you know, because when I look back, okay, I'm gonna make an example with skillz, for example. Like skillz, I mean, every release they take out, you can see the growth and the maturity from the group, you know. I know the music is not selling the way, you know, we would like it to, because in South Africa there's politics in music, you know. You have to do a certain genre to make money, you know. So the Gugulethu scene has evolved a lot, you know, has evolved. I remember guys didn't have like microphone techniques, you know. They were shouting on the mic, you know, but now the guys, they can control the mic very well, you know, in terms of recording, you know. They used to just record whatever, but now everything is professionally, you know, done, you know, from the lyrics to the music, you know. So it's evolving, you know, because out of all the black townships, in my honest opinion, I think Gugulethu is like a college or a university, you know. Because if you go to Philippi, and if you go to Khayelitsha, and if you go to Mfuleni, you know, if you go to even Langa, people are looking at Cooks, what Cooks is doing. They're following the trend of what Cooks is doing, because they know, you know, we do things accordingly, you know. To find Planet Earth, you can find me on Twitter at Planet Earth only, one word, and on Facebook, Dre Day, 2 words. On SoundCloud as well, You can find me as Dre-Khagaza, Racaza. That's my surname. That's how you connect with me. I'm not gonna give out my cell number.